Parayana of the first day. O Sainath, Supreme Guru, I place my head at your lotus feet and prostrate before you. O Sai, I am totally dependent on you. I have complete faith in you and long for your merciful looks and blessings. I can lead my life and make a living only by your grace. Please shower your grace on me, O ocean of companion. Please dispel all vices which alienate me from you and promote virtues which lead me near you. Bless me to complete this Parayan without any obstacles. Please grant me the intelligence to understand your teachings and enable to worship you with unwavering faith and devotion. Shirdi is a small village. It is in Kopargaon taluk of Ahmednagar district in Maharashtra. Sri Sai Baba first appeared there as a boy of 16 under a neem tree. He stayed there till the end and made Shirdi a holy place of pilgrim. Nobody knew the parents' birthplace, caste, and religion of Sri Sai Baba. He never said anything about this to anyone. Day and night, Sai sat under the neem tree in Padmasan and practiced hard penance without caring for heat and cold. Once a devotee of Kandoba asked people to dig in a particular place under the neem tree. When it was dug, they found steps and a cave where four lights were burning. The boy said it was the place of his guru and asked them to guard it well. Then he left Shirdi. He returned to Shirdi after 3 years along with a marriage party and stayed there till he attained Mahasamadhi. Chand Patel, a wealthy man of Dhup, lost his mare. He made a diligent search for it but could not get it. As he was returning home in a dejected mood, he saw a fakir under a mango tree. He wore a long robe, kafni, and had a cloth tied like a cap on his head. He called Chand Patel and like a cap on his head. He called Chand Patel and told him where to find his mare. Chand Patel was very happy to get his mare back. The fakir prepared. Chillam stuck the ground with his satka, small stick, got water and fire. The fakir smoked the chillam and then gave it to Chand Patel. Chand Patel thought the fakir was a great saint and invited him to come to his house. After some time, Chand Patel, along with his family, started for Shirdi to attend a marriage. The fakir also accompanied the marriage party. Malsapati, the priest of Kandoba temple, saw the fakir, recognized him as the boy who left Shirdi and accosted him, Aye Sai. From then others also addressed him as Sai and Sai Baba. After returning to Shirdi, Sai began to stay in a small desert mud built masjid at the request of the villagers. Sai consisted of a chillam, a tin pot, and a small stick satka and a small cloth folded like a bag for begging alms. He was dressed like a Muslim but observed all the rituals of the Hindus. His ears were pierced. He lived in the masjid and called it Dargamai. There he lighted duni, were burnt all the 24 hours of the day. He used to grind wheat in the masjid. Devotees rang bells, chanted bhajans, and offered inans, etc. in the duni. Even Orthodox Brahmins fell at his feet. Often he said Allah Malik and Narayana. He made the people celebrate Sri Ramanavami in the traditional way. Muslims observed the sandal procession on the same day. Gokul Ashtami and Eid ul Fitr were also celebrated with much enthusiasm. Now and then, he used to go to Takia. There he danced beautifully with small bells on his ankles and sang songs with devotion. Throughout the day, he was surrounded by devotees. He slept in the masjid at night. Many people were benefited by the darshan of Sai Baba. Some were cured of their disease, while others got their desires fulfilled. The blind got their sight with his blessing. The lame were able to walk properly. He made the devotees lead a righteous life. He always sat in front of the duni in the masjid and recited God's name. Sai said, There is no dirt for food and clothes in the house of my devotee. I always look after the welfare of those who worship me with unanswering devotion. Sai words were full of love. He treated the rich and the poor alike. He was unmoved by honor and insult. Though he never moved out of Shirdi, He knew what was happening in the universe. He helped the devotees to get rid of their bad qualities and walk on the path of virtue. His fame spread far and wide. People came to Shirdi, even from distant places. Their hearts were filled with peace and happiness by the darshan of Sai. Sai Baba used to get oil from shopkeepers and burn the lamps the whole night in the masjid. After some time, the shopkeepers, unwilling to give oil to Baba, Sai said there was no oil. Sai returned them to the masjid, kept the wicks in the lamps, filled them with water, and lighted them. To the surprise of all, the lamps burned with great luminescence throughout the night. The shopkeepers repented and apologized to Baba. He forgave them and advised them to adhere to truth in life. Gauli Buba, an aged saint, was a devotee of Lord Panduranga. He came to Shirdi, saw Sai, and said, "This is none else than Pandarinath, the merciful Lord of all people." In the early days of his return to Shirdi, Sai cleaned the ground behind the masjid and planted small flower plants. Vaman Tatya, a potter, used to supply him daily with two unbaked earthen pots. Sai drew water from the well, carried the pots on his shoulder, and watered the plants. In the evening, after the work was over, they were kept under the neem tree. As soon as they were placed, they used to break to pieces. Next day, Tatya used to supply him another pair of pitchers unbaked. Soon a beautiful garden grew there. Gangagiri, a saint, saw Sai watering the plants and said, "This man carrying water today is not an ordinary man. Blessed is Shirdi that he got the precious jewel." Sri Anand Nath Maharaj is a disciple of Sami Samartha of Akalkot, who is an incarnation of Lord Dattatreya, came to Shirdi, saw Sai, and declared, "He is a priceless pearl. You will realize this in the near future." Bhai Krishnaji, a devotee of Akalkot Swami, wanted to go to Akalkot to worship the Padukas there. The Swami appeared in a dream and said, "I am now in Shirdi, go there and worship me." At this command, he came to Shirdi, worshipped Sai, and installed the Padukas under the neem tree with the cooperation of his friends. Baba touched the Padukas and blessed them. Sri Upasani Baba made them carve a prayer in Sanskrit sloka near the Padukas. In the early days of his advent in Shirdi, Sri Sai practiced medicine in the village. When one devotee suffered from severe infection of the eyes, Sai pounded some bida, the powder of marking nuts, and put it in the eyes of the patient and wrapped a cloth bandage. Next day, the inflammation subsided and the patient got well. Kapur's son had an attack of plague. Sri Sai took it upon himself and saved the boy. Saved the boy. At that time, Bubas Bobos appeared on the body of Sai. Sai saved his devotees many times, even though they were far away from him. One day, Sai suddenly thrust his hand into the duni and gestured as if he were pulling out something. His arm was burnt. When the devotees questioned him anxiously why he did like that, he said, "I don't mind my arm being burnt. I am happy the child is saved." After a few days, one blacksmith came to Shetty and said that his wife was working the bellows of the furnace with the child in her lap. When the child was about to fall in the furnace, an invisible hand pulled it out. Baguji, a leper, applied ghee to the hand of the Sai every day and bandaged it with cloth. Das Ganu, a devotee of Sai, sought Baba's permission to go to Prayag and take a holy bath in the confluence. Sai said, "Believe me, our Prayag is here." To the wonder of all, when Das Ganu placed his head on Baba's feet, two streams of Ganga and Yamuna flowed from the feet of Sai. One Rohila, a bachelor, stayed in Shirdi with Sai. Day and night he used to recite in a loud and harsh voice comes from the Holy Quran and shout Allahu Akbar. This distributed the sleep of the villagers of Shirdi. After some time, unable to bear this any more, they went to Sai and requested him to stop the loud shouts of Rohila. She said that Rohila wife was a shrew and she tried to trouble the Rohila, but his instant prayers kept her at a distance. Here the wife referred to by Baba were the evil thoughts. This shows how Baba was fond of prayers. The father of Kashira Sagar was a devotee of Vithoba and used to worship him every day. After his death, Kashira Sagar stopped the worship of Vithal, the annual trips to Pandari, and even the Shraddha and annual ceremony of his father. When Kashira Sagar came to Shivdi, Baba said that his father was his friend, but the son stopped the puja and the Naivedya of Vittal. Thus he started Vittal and Sai, so he made him come to Shirdi to remonstrate him and make him begin the puja of Vittal again. Once Sai told Das Ganu that if he chanted the name of Lord Vittal day and night for 7 days, Vittal could bless him with his darshan. Das Ganu followed the advice of Sai and received the grace of Lord Vittal. Anna Sahib Dao went to Shirdi after being pursued many times by his friends to have a darshan of Sai. After he had the first darshan of Sai, he said, "The moment I touched Baba feet, I began a new lease of life." One morning, he went to the masjid to have the darshan of Sai. At that time, Baba was washing his face. After completing it, Baba sat before the handmill and began to grind wheat. Then, four ladies came there, ground the entire wheat into powder, singing the Leelas of Sai, and were getting ready to take it home. Sai stopped them and asked them to sprinkle the floor on the outskirts of Shirdi. At the time, the cholera epidemic was spreading in the village. It disappeared after the floor was sprinkled on the borders of the village. After seeing many such miracles, he wanted to write them in the form of a book. He went to Sai along with Shama, another devotee, and requested the permission of Sai. Sai agreed, put Udi on his forehead, blessed him, and said, "You are only an instrument. I myself write my biography and satisfy the wishes of my devotees. The devotees who hear my stories and teachings will develop from faith and devotion. They should give up their friendship with atheists and bad people and concentrate their attention on me. They should behave with utmost humility. Then there will not be any scarcity for food in their houses." Sai used to call Anna Sahib as Hemant Bant. Gopal Rao Kund and Damu Anna Kesar got children with the blessings of Sai. As a token of gratitude, Gopal Rao wanted to celebrate the flag festival on Sri Ramanavami. Damu Anna Kesar gave one flag while another was given by Nana Sahib Nimokar. Both the flags were taken in procession and finally fixed at the masjid. Amir Shakar, a Muslim, made the necessary arrangements for the sandal processions on the same day. On Sri Ramanavami Day, they used to narrate the story of Rama, celebrate the cradle festival, and Kala Handi. Besides this, devotees participate in a Nama Sapta, continuous chanting name of the Lord for 7 days. On this day, there was a free distribution of food to the poor. Sri Samartha Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai Baba, I place my head at your feet. I have completed the Parayanam of the first day, Tuesday. Please bless me with long life, health, wealth, peace, joy, and unwilling devotion to. Thank you.